When you're working, your focus is on accumulating assets like properties, shares, and increasing your superannuation so that you can live a comfortable retirement. In retirement, that focus needs to shift because the value of these assets isn't as important as your ability to get income from them or access their capital to live off. So, what's the best way to structure your investments to be able to achieve that? That will depend on your circumstances and what your financial advisor thinks would make the best sense. But I spoke to a client the other day and how they chose to do it was quite interesting. They termed it the 3-bucket system. Each bucket had a purpose. The first was the cash bucket. This holds 1 year's worth of your spending needs. It's like an emergency fund. The second bucket was the fixed interest bucket. This holds 3 to 4 years of your spending needs. It's made up of stable investments like term deposits or bonds. The third bucket was the growth bucket. The rest of your money goes here. It's invested in shares and properties which can grow over time but can also be volatile. Both the fixed interest and growth buckets generate income, be it through interest, dividends, or rental income. This income is transferred to the cash bucket. You use the cash bucket for your daily expenses. Ideally, the income generated should be sufficient for your needs, so you don't have to sell the actual assets. But if you do need to sell, the idea is to do so when the market is favorable. And of course, the stock market and property values can be unpredictable. They don't always increase steadily. So by having a multi-bucket system, you're not forced to sell your growth assets like shares during a market downturn to fund your retirement. This protects you from selling at a loss. That's where the fixed bucket comes in. If the cash bucket runs low and there's a downturn in the market, you can draw from the fixed interest bucket. So essentially, when your cash bucket starts to deplete, for whatever reason, it gets replenished by the income from the other 2 buckets. The goal is to live off the income generated without having to sell the principal assets. However, if there's a need, the system is designed to ensure you sell at the right time, maximizing returns and minimizing losses. So how would you compare to more traditional methods? In many traditional retirement funds, when you need money for your monthly pension or expenses, the fund sells a bit of everything you own. This means they might sell some cash assets, some bonds, and some shares to give you the amount you need. This approach is like having a mixed pie of investments, and every time you need money, a slice of that pie, containing a bit of everything, is sold. The problem with the traditional method arises during market downturns. If the value of shares or properties drop, you'll need to sell a larger quantity of these assets to get the same amount of money. For example, if you own shares worth $100 each and you needed $1,000, you'd sell 10 shares. But if the value of those shares dropped to $50, you'd need to sell 20 shares to get the same $1,000. Over time, this depletes your assets faster. And even though the market may eventually recover, your savings won't. This is because you would have sold a significant portion of your assets during the downturn. And so by the time the market recovers, you will own fewer assets that could have benefited from the upswing. So essentially, the benefit of the 3-bucket system over a more traditional way of doing things is if the market goes down, you can use the money from your cash and fixed interest buckets, giving your growth bucket time to recover. So this strategy is about having a diversified approach to retirement savings and ensuring you have immediate access to funds, a medium-term safety net, and a long-term growth potential. It's designed to provide stability and flexibility in retirement, regardless of market conditions. I will add, before I wrap up this video, I'm not a financial advisor. I just find this strategy quite valuable, and my goal as an investor myself has always been to help other investors, be it from personal experiences or market insights. So if this strategy is something you found interesting, have a chat with your financial advisor and see how you could possibly implement it into your retirement plan. I'll see you guys next time.